What's up, everybody? It's been a long time. It's been about a year, I think, since I made my first video about the old C60, and unfortunately, things got in the way. I kind of forgot about it, and forgot to record a couple things. But waiting on parts right now, so I'm just going to take some time to kind of give it a look over, show you what I've did so far, go over the engine. You can't see it right there, and transmission and a couple other things, front axle, and just kind of update on what we've done so that I can continue on and actually make videos this time about the actual build process. So I'm going to flip around here real quick and show you the engine, then go back here and show you the transmission, which is tore all to pieces right now, and the front axle, and just kind of update y'all on what we've done so far. Alright, so what we have right here is an 8.3 Cummins that used to be attached to an old generator in a factory. This motor is a 1989, I believe, and probably doesn't have but a couple hundred hours on it, I would guess. It's in extremely good shape. It's got an old Bosch A pump on it for any of y'all diesel guys that know what I'm talking about, with a I can't remember the number or what these are called, but it's the off-road style governor like you'd find on an excavator or something like that. Not going to be the greatest thing to use on the road, but I think we can get by. These things use the same lift pumps as a 5.9 does, and you got your fuel filter base there that's actually cast into the head. All your return lines, all that good stuff across here on the top. Very, very easy to work on, very, very easy to modify. But what we've got on here is, this is kind of the thing I'm most interested about, is this Borg Warner turbo off a Mack dump truck. I believe they called this an S410. It's really big, and it's probably going to lag like nothing you've ever seen on this thing. But we came from this whole set turbo, which has a very large exhaust housing, but not a real big compressor side, because it was made to run a generator and just kind of, I guess, the load really not varying that much. RPM staying pretty steady. But this, and also being a much more modern turbo, this one should get. So it's got an old SAE3 flywheel housing, and this has been kind of the biggest problem that I've had so far, is finding a flywheel that actually fits this thing. This flywheel is something odd. It's not like a manual flywheel. I finally had to get me one from Tennessee Clutch. It was kind of hard to come by. That'll take a 13-inch clutch. But now that I finally got that, I'm waiting on the clutch to come in, and then we'll get that put together. Got my big old pile of random parts, steering rod, fans, harmonic balancers, all that kind of crap. But yeah, this motor made 202 horsepower from the factory, or from the factory tune, and we're going to be looking to make, I'm hoping for 350 once I do what I do to it. But yeah, there it is. It cranks and runs good, and it's going to be a beast. Alright, and now the next thing we're going to look at here is the front axle. This front axle that I chose to put in here is out of a, I believe, mid-90s school bus, international school bus. The reason why I chose it was, as you can see, it's got hydraulic disc brakes on the front. I didn't want to have to deal with using air compressors and regulators and all that kind of mess on this thing to try to make brakes work, and anybody that drive it would have to have a CDL, and you know, all that fluff. I don't want to deal with it. It was way too wide by about a foot, so I had someone cut and weld the axle back together. All very good, professionally welded. Looks very nice, nice and strong. But and also the big thing about this was these axles come factory with the 10 lug. I don't know the standard 10 lug semi truck wheels, because I'm planning on putting 22.5 Alcoa aluminum wheels on this thing, and this made the most sense, not having to buy adapters and you know, be more complicated and more expensive. So we've got the axle welded up. You can see I cut the steering shaft right there. I got to put it back together again. But the axle is just kind of hanging here so I can lift the truck up in the air, hanging by a chain. But anyway, there's the axle. It's ready to go. And as soon as I can get the engine mounted to the transmission and put in the truck, we can start doing measurements to start cutting the frame, step notching, C-notching, whatever I have to do to make the bags fit and the 4 links to get this thing riding on at least the front wheels. So, but anyway, I'm going to ease back here to the back, and we're going to look at, I'm going to cut this fan off, it's loud. Excuse the mess. I got multiple LS engines all tore apart back here. But the transmission that we're using here is a Spicer 3053A transmission. This is out of a M35 A2 deuce and a half. It comes standard with an SAE 3 bell housing, so it'll bolt right up without any problems. This thing sat out, got water in it. It was nasty. I've been having to clean the rust off of the gears. You can see the input shaft is not great, but it's all right. I can't find one, so it may have to do. You can see a little bit of focus. There we go. You can see some pretty bad pitting on this gear. I'm still on the lookout for a gear. If I can find some gears for this thing, I'll replace it. If not, I may risk it, but I really don't want to. So, but I've got all new bearings for this thing, heavy duty bearings. My input shaft collar, I guess what the throwout bearing rides on, was broken when I got it, so I'm trying to find one of these. Plus the bearing there too was busted. But we got the case all clean, had it sandblasted and painted, all nice. Well, I painted it, and it's looking pretty good. And got to get that back together. I'll ease around over here, around all this mess. And we have our shifter top. I still have to kind of take it apart and clean a little bit of this rust off. But yeah, I mean, it's just a standard 5-speed. I don't know what that's for. Shifter top. Like I said, everything looks really good on this thing. Everything's really clean. It's got a spot for a PTO. That'd be kind of cool to put something on there in the future. But yeah, that's our transmission. And now, while we're here, I'll go ahead and look at the truck a little bit more closely. Since the last time, couldn't get the door open, and of course that's been over a year ago. But just kind of give you a little bit closer look at the truck itself, and just kind of see what kind of condition it's in and what we got to work with. It's going to be a rat rod, so it's not that big of a deal. But anyway, it's got a little bit of damage right here on the door. Looks like something fell on it. It's not terrible. I think this has something to do also with this up here, where I believe this is a log truck. So I think something, maybe a log fell, hit up here, fell down and hit right here, and bent all this. But other than that, the door's pretty straight. Obviously, the cab corners are shot, but the doors themselves aren't too bad. They got a little bit of rust right here in the bottom edge. Like I said, not a big deal. It's a rat rod. The floors, we're going to have to cut out the floors and put some patch panels all up around here. on the outside of the frame, or not the frame, outside of the cab, outer rocker panels, they're pretty much toast. But this is not too bad. There's a little bit of rust right here, but it's not too bad. The rest of the floor is all right. Over there, it's an absolute lost cause. But all that can be, you know, cut out, fixed. The biggest thing that I am worried about, and it makes me the most worried, is this. Ooh. Yeah. It's really bad. All the way across the top of the roof. And I am not a body man, but I've got to do something about that. Anyway, let's ease over here. Front of the cab looks good. Not a whole lot of rust, if any, up on the top. Firewall all looks good. The fenders are actually in fantastic shape. Not a speck of rust on them inside or out. Or the steps down here. The steps are in incredibly good shape. Bottom edge bent, which I can expect that. This is a, you know, it's a log truck. Same thing on the other side. The fenders, fantastic shape, no rust whatsoever. Steps, again, bottom edge is bent. Yeah, like I said, not a big deal. This door, pretty good. Little dent there in the front, not too bad. This door actually is in a lot better condition across the bottom, but the floor is in way worse condition. All the way back here, it's all toast. It's awful. Cab corner, it's crushed, also rusted out, but structurally the cab is pretty sound. As you can see, a little bit of bubbling right there, and then the big stuff down there. I did notice that these C60s actually have a different steering wheel spoke design than the C60s do, and thought that was kind of interesting. Of course, it has this giant hole in the floor, this big panel that comes off sitting right there, which is also in horrible shape. I'm probably going to have to make a new one of those. I mean, it's all to be expected. It's an old log truck, so I think it's kind of cool. It's got these little metal, I call them vent visors, I guess. That's what I called them before. But anyway, it's got both of those. Most of the old mirror components, some of it's missing. I plan on leaving this old busted glass in just because it kind of gives it some character. It's pretty neat. The radiator support's got some rust, but either way, I don't think it's that big of a deal. And like I said, here pretty soon when the parts come in, we're going to get on it, start working on the clutch, getting the transmission mounted, and get this thing together and start getting some progress done. I've got my bushings to make my 4-link back here. We're going to step notch the frame and put probably 4 or 5 foot long 4-link bars back here. Rear ends outside. And but yeah, we are making headway now that parts are actually coming in to get this thing back in one piece. So there you go. That's the truck so far. Like I said, could be a little bit before I get the clutch in. We're not really sure. Got a few other things I got to move out of the way. All that stuff on the back of the frame, those engines, got to go. Probably have a few more videos coming out soon about that truck right there, an 85, I believe, C30. Guy that I know pretty well, has a shingle business, uses it for work, toting big old pallets of shingles. Old 350 was tired, wore out, so we decided to LS swap it. We're putting a 5.3 in it. It's got the old, I believe it's an SM465, grain 84 speed, yeah, whatever it's called. Put one of those back in there, new clutch, new wiring harness, all that kind of good stuff. But that'll be a video here pretty soon. And but yeah, I guess we'll see you in the next one.